Tale. Fievel Goes West. How are you going to rate it? Are you going to take it home? Are you going to leave it at Grandma's? Or are you going to hide it in the attic? Hello. Please come in. There's some fresh cookies in the cookie jar. There's a pitcher of Kool-Aid on the counter. Have a seat. We'll put a movie on for you. This is Movies at Grandma's House, where we look at the movies from the past to see if they're good by our modern eyes and Grandma approves. And I'm your host, Isaac. Just give them the lazy eye. And who's joining me for An American Tale, Fievel Goes West?
This is Seth. Just remember, Fievel, one man's sunset is another man's dawn.
I can't think of more true words. That is absolutely beautiful. How you doing, Seth?
I'm doing all right. Kind of slightly busy today, but doing all right.
It's getting to be kind of busy time of the year for me too, but it's great to have you to join me for this movie. This is a special movie. I have Fievel with me, as you can see, and I've been looking forward to covering this movie. A big thank you again to you, the listener. You guys voted for this, so be sure you are up to date. Subscribe with us because we put polls out every Monday, and there's going to be a 24-hour time frame that you can vote. So you want to get your votes in. So if you want to contribute to what movie we consider, be sure you're signed up and ready to go. You're up to date with us. And before we begin, if you like visiting Grandma's house, show her some love by hitting that like, subscribe, share, and comment below your memories of this movie. And of course, we're going to be going into this movie and reviewing. So this is your proper spoiler warning. If you've not seen this movie, please stop what you're doing, go watch it, and come on back because we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. This is none other than An American Tale, Fievel Goes West. This movie was released back on November 17th, 1991. It was a premiere at the Kennedy Center, then nationwide, November 22nd, 1991. It had a budget of $16.5 million. And the box office, it was $40.8 million. So it was a success at the box office. And just kind of glancing around at the reviews, a couple I saw, IMDb had a 6.5 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes, 59%. Google users had about an 83%. So Seth, I'm very interested to hear, what are some of your first memories with this film?
Well, I loved these movies as a child. I even remember singing some of the songs. So going back and revisiting was pretty special.
Yeah. I've got a lot of memories with this. You can see I have a Fievel. Growing up, we watched the first one and might be wondering why we're covering the second one. Well, again, you guys choose. So we're just going to leave it at that. You guys picked it, but regardless, this movie has a lot of nostalgia. Obviously, just growing up, I can almost picture all of this movie in my head without even thinking about it. And this might have been the movie I recall. I talked about, the poster behind me, I have the Rescuers Down Under. This might have been the movie I saw in the theaters. I don't know, but I almost remember seeing this in the theaters too. There was a cardboard cutout of Fievel, like he is on the poster. And I still have a core memory of that. So it's seeped and oozing in nostalgia for me. So with that, I'm interested. What were some of your expectations upon going back on the rewatch?
Honestly, I was just hoping that it was half as good as I remembered. So it didn't need to hold up to my high standard of when I was a child.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got a lot of nostalgia, but I was hoping I can still appreciate it. I was going to watch it with my kids, see what their reactions are, as always. But since this is one with so much nostalgia in it, I was very interested to see what their reactions were, what they were going to think of all the antics and funny moments. So that's what I was really looking forward to. Before we get to our plot rewind, let's pause for just a moment to hear from our sponsors. Love movies as much as we do? Bring the experience of the big screen to your walls with movieposters.com. Whether you're into classics, blockbusters, or indie gems, they've got something for every film fanatic. As a listener of our podcast, you can get 15% off your order now. Just use code Grandma's House 15 at checkout. Head to movieposters.com and let's build your ultimate collection today. All right. So how fitting. This is one of those movies I had the VHS of, so let's do that. Let's take the VHS out of the cover, put it in the VCR, and press play.
Fievel and his family decide to move out west, unaware that they are falling into a trap set by a smooth-talking cat. With pure nostalgia, it's easy to fall for this tale. Grab a drink and a cookie, find a place to sit while Grandma puts on the VHS tape that's worn pretty good. Enjoy.
Very nice. So this is, just first impressions. I'm just hit in the gut with a bunch of memories, but I'm interested to hear, what are your first impressions when you're watching this?
So I hate to say it, but it feels a little dated to me. I still enjoyed watching it, but I can tell that it was an older animated picture for sure.
It does show its age a little bit. Yeah, it does. Other than the nostalgia, I could tell. I want to talk about it more because the animation, I want to touch on it, but I noticed something. Did you see that there was kind of a difference in the first act of the movie compared to the second act when it came to the animation?
Yes, I did see a little bit of a difference. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I didn't find that in research.
Yeah, when you're talking about dated, it's not that the animation was terrible at the beginning, but there was a clear difference. They put a lot more money, or they had different animators, something at the end. And I want to talk about that a little bit more, but yeah, what else kind of sticks out to you when you're watching this movie?
So the plot was, in my opinion, okay. It shined in parts, and it didn't hold up exactly in other parts. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that the plot wasn't as strong, I feel, maybe as the first movie.
Yeah, I am 100% with you. As much as I talk about the nostalgia, I will nitpick it a little bit. That's one of the weaknesses of this movie is the plot. The plot is these cats, instead of just eating the mice, they say, no, don't. Let's save it. Let's starve ourselves and make them go all the way out west and then stage it like they're building this community and then go splat and have them as mice burgers. That's a really, really weak spot of this movie. It's kind of glaring now that I'm an adult, because as a kid, I don't think I thought much of it. Did you, as a kid?
No, if anything, I thought it was like a golden movie, like something that you couldn't touch. It was set apart as something special.
Right. Now, there's some issues with this movie. That's one of them that's just kind of glaring to me, and it just sticks out because it's just, I keep thinking to myself, why are you not eating these mice? As much as I don't want them to, I don't want to see these poor mice, but I'm just kind of like, why is this happening? It just was aiding the plot. The plot had it written out. This is what was going to happen. So in order for that to take place, it was just kind of, I guess as an adult, you notice those things. My kids thought it was great. They didn't seem fazed by that type of stuff, but I was kind of going, this is kind of they could have done a little better. But, this is a sequel, so we do get to see familiar faces. We also get to see new ones. What did you think of the characters?
So I felt like DeLuise and Stewart, and of course Fievel stole the show. You get to feel the characters pretty quickly for this one, so like they make an impression quickly. That's one of the things I did like about the movie.
Yeah, it was great to see Fievel and Tiger back together. That was so great. They were a duo from the first one. So they just pick up where they left off. It was great. And you mentioned Jimmy Stewart. Come on, legend. Jimmy Stewart, you recognize his voice. I believe this was, I might be stealing a fun fact, so I apologize, but was this his last movie?
Yes, that's my first fun fact. But yes, it was his last film.
Okay. Sorry, I stole that from you.
No, I still have more. Don't worry.
Okay, good. I didn't want to steal your thunder on that. But
no, you're good.
I remember reading that somewhere. I don't know when, but I was just like, wow, that's pretty amazing because he has such a catalog of movies, and I think he's terrific in this. I mean, it's a kid's movie, so I don't know. I enjoyed it being his last because he just, seems like he still had fun with it. I could sense that in his voice, and that's what you want in voice acting, is someone having fun. Um, I, Interesting that John Cleese, John Lovitz, there's some pretty big actors in this too. I think John Cleese was fantastic. I think John Cleese has that you could pick his voice out in a crowd anytime. I mean, so he fits right in, and he does, as much as we talk about the plot, and he's the reason for this plot. He's kind of the leader of the cats, and making this plan. Cat R. Wall, that's his name. I still enjoy his character, though. I mean, the characters are great. The just interaction that they have, and Fievel's family, they're back there. I mean, what else do you like about the characters? Anything new about the characters or familiar faces?
I'll get more into it later, but I kind of enjoyed the songs of this movie. So like the different characters and having their own parts it highlighted to me the film, and I really appreciated that. I guess, yeah, each character kind of had a different vibe and a different personality, and that was nice.
That is true. Go ahead and go into that too about the songs. Which of the songs did you like?
Well, I have a fun fact.
Not to put you on the spot, but
yeah, I think somewhere in my notes here I have something about this. Yeah. So I thought that they aided by good songs and funny story. It was rather enjoyable to watch. So the songs to me were a highlight. They were definitely a focal point of the film, just like the first one, and for sure.
yeah, it does the somewhere out there at the beginning, and then I believe it's called Dreams to Dream. That's like
Correct.
the one in the middle. Was it Linda Ronstadt? They brought her back for that one, or was that
It's
someone
a fun
else?
fact. Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to shut up. I'm sorry. I
You're
keep jumping
fine.
into your fun. I'm jumping ahead on that. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I remember enjoying this movie. So there's a lot of things that come out about the fun facts. It's just very fascinating, as always, to hear those little behind the scenes.
I like when we're on the same wavelengths. Like we're actually talking about stuff that I had made notes on. I love that. I love it.
I don't want to steal your thunder, though. We'll come back to that
I love
for
it.
sure.
I love
I just want to bring out the animation. We touched on a little bit. I'm just going to say, I said some negatives. The positive, the last 15 minutes or so of this movie, I adore. I just eat it up every time. And that goes along with the animation. I think the animation is fantastic. It might be a little dated, like you said, towards the beginning. I agree. But there's something about towards the end, the whole sequence of Wiley Burp training Tiger, that whole sequence, and then the end battle, that is just top notch, in my opinion, animation when it comes to Don Bluth productions. Like, put it up against all of the other movies, and that's what the 90s was about. 90s felt like it took things a little bit to the next level. You had the 80s really setting the tone, but this is a good example of escalating it. I only wish it was the full movie. I don't know, again, if it was a different animation studio or they just didn't have the budget. I don't know. Maybe I should do some research on it, but I will still give it high praise on the end. I mean, what did you think about the end sequence?
It's hard not to fall in love with this movie, but there's times where I felt like the animation was so simple that it felt so dated, and that's all I can say. I mean, honestly, it didn't ruin the film at all. It's just it dated it. It gave it age, and that's not a bad thing. I think it was kind of cool actually, because it kind of puts you in a time frame, a feeling of the past, and like you were saying, nostalgia. It brings that back instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I like about it. It's kind of that time capsule. And when it comes to animation, some people prefer like CGI. They like the more super realistic. I've never been that way. I like having its own unique characters, unique style. And you might say, well, here's a unique style, but I don't like that style. Each person's going to be different. But there's something about this. We talked. I bring up Rescuers Down Under often, but I just like to use that as an example. I love the animation in that. This is similar. They're definitely different. I'm not saying that they're the same, but in terms of what I enjoy, I'm in that realm. So I really ate that up. I could go on and gush about the end totally with you on the beginning, though. I really wish they could have upped the ante, so to say, for the beginning. But yeah, there's so much else we can talk about, but I've been stepping on your feet, so I actually want to hear some of these fun facts. So fire away.
So before we get to the fun facts, I have another quote I'd like to share. One that really stood out to me was, "This is the worst. This is the worst moment of my life. I wouldn't wish this on a dog. Maybe a dog." I love that line. I could listen to it all day.
There are so many fun quotes in this movie, and you know I'm a quotes guy, but that's one I really enjoy because Dom DeLuise,
Yes.
give him praise, man. He's just hilarious in this movie. There's so many quotes, and that little laugh after that quote you mentioned is what sells it. He just goes like, I love it. So great.
Well, the fun facts. So we discussed Jimmy Stewart's last film. The second fun fact that I come across was that Steven Spielberg personally came to Jimmy Stewart's sound booth at Interlock Studios to direct him. He is uncredited as a voiceover director, though. So he didn't get any credit for it, but he actually went there in person and directed Jimmy Stewart for the movie.
That is really cool. Wow. I think he just went there because he wanted to watch them more than anything.
Probably just to hang out.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I mean, if I'm a producer on this movie and I hear Jimmy Stewart is a voice actor, I would totally do that too. It's like, can I just come watch? Like, I won't say anything. I'll just be a fly on the wall.
And as you mentioned, Dreams to Dream was originally recorded by Celine Dion, but the producers favored Linda Ronstadt, who sang the theme songs Somewhere Out There in The American Tale. So I thought that was very interesting. I did notes for this quite a long time ago, and I kind of kept that in the back of my head. That is a very, very interesting. If you're into music, that's a very interesting thing that they chose Linda Ronstadt over Celine Dion. We know Celine Dion's career did not get halted by by this at all, but Linda Ronstadt was definitely a feature in these two movies.
Yeah, that is so cool. That I mean, they obviously had some kind of they enjoyed her voice, but to beat out Celine Dion, I think I would be bragging about that for the rest of my life. Like, did you know? Because however you feel about Celine Dion, she's got a pretty powerful voice. So to have that claim to fame, that's impressive. That's pretty cool. Was that all the fun?
Yeah, that's all my fun facts today. I think I was so excited about those that I just left it there. I didn't want to take away from anything. So those are my fun facts for this one.
All right. Well, before we get to our reviews, we like to look around the net. So, Seth, what kind of reviews are you seeing out there?
My favorite repeat offender. The Little Songbird says, a sequel worth watching, 8 out of 10.
I like it. Keep the good reviews there coming, Little Songbird. We appreciate you. We'll just keep giving you shout outs because, that was great.
Sunny Gummy said, a top movie for all time, 10 out of 10.
Okay. That's
some excitement there.
Very, very much. I'm thinking they have very strong nostalgia with this movie to be going there. But I could totally see that.
And then lastly, Matthew Silverhammer says, yeehaw, 6 out of 10.
That's very fitting. I like it.
It wasn't wrong.
No. Was not wrong at all. I mean, that's getting into spirit. You could just sense their love of Westerns, those types of things. And those are great foundation laid for us when we get into our reviews. So thank you for bringing those out. But let's get down to it. We're gonna bring out our thoughts now. So Seth, I'm gonna have to ask you the question like I always do, but in this case, it will be for An American Tail. Fievel Goes West. How are you gonna rate it? Are you gonna take it home? Are you gonna leave it at grandma's? Or are you gonna hide it in the attic?
Well, you can queue up some booze for this one. Overall, it's a good movie, and I'm honest. In my honest opinion, it didn't hold up to what I remembered as a child. So I'm gonna have to leave this at Grandma's. It's still a good movie. It's just to me, it wasn't as strong at the rewatch as it was when I was how old was I? A little kid.
I don't fault you at all. That's a respectable rating. And that's where we say, leaving it at Grandma's is not a bad rating. That's just, maybe one you aren't going to watch right away. Maybe you don't want to watch it. So totally respect that. And I'll be honest, everything you're saying, I don't disagree with at all. There's some flaws with this movie. There's that, I don't know. There's some things that bug me a little bit, like Kat our wall. He's obsessed with Fievel's sister's voice. And it's like, you want to eat this mouse, but you're obsessed with this voice. Like, that was kind of odd. So it's just like, okay, this is different, but I was back and forth. I will admit, I was kind of thinking this might be a leave it at Grandma's for me. And I'm thinking Take It Home is how I felt as a youngster when I was growing up. But I have a confession to make. I go back to those last 15, 20 minutes. I won't say this about a lot of movies, but I can't explain it. That sold me. The last 15, 20 minutes. I just think it's so seeped in nostalgia. It's got the animation that I love, that style. It's Jimmy Stewart, just, well, look out behind you, kid. I mean, it's great. It's fantastic to me. I can just watch the 15, 20 minutes ending of this movie and I am set. Like, I could take that home. And it might not be fair to say that, like, okay, but what about the rest of the movie? Oh, I'm still going to take it home. Fievel's winning out here. I'm going to take it home. I want to take Fievel home with me. It's nostalgia for sure. I think if, like you or others say, you know what, I just don't feel it. I completely understand because I don't disagree with you. But to me, I mean, it just seeped in nostalgia. It took me back to being a kid again. I was so young when this came out, but I can still, those memories are so strong. And that's what this podcast is about. Maybe you see those feelings come back as you're considering these movies. Other times, maybe not so much. And that's where we can be honest to be like, this doesn't hold up as well. This isn't one of them. This still holds up to me outside of those flaws, for sure. So that's our reviews, but we got to get to Grandma. So what is Granny's family-friendly rating?
So Granny's updated family-friendly rating is a B+ for some simulated violence.
Right, there you go. This is a pretty wholesome movie. I mean, it really is. Not as dark as the first movie. We haven't considered the first one yet, but that's one thing I can remember is the first one was a lot darker. This one was a little more cheery, a lot more on the happier side, as much as this is out west and such. But yeah, it does kind of have that simulated. This is a Western shootout, albeit with slingshots, and they're typically aiming at their slingshot. Like, nobody gets really hit either. So it's more on the wholesome side. I actually did bring out a lot about with my kids. My kids absolutely loved this movie. They loved the training montage with Tiger when he holds his breath and goes off the edge. And of course, it's the fart noises. My kids are at that age. So cracking up, they were dying laughing. So kind of going back to my review a little bit, that might have also been the other thing I forgot to bring out is seeing my kids laugh at parts I remember laughing at. That added so much value to me too. So Granny approves. Granny thinks, the kids are going to have a fun time with this. They're going to laugh. They're going to have fun with it. And yeah, definitely check it out if you have not recently. I highly recommend it. Well, before we wrap things up, why don't we make sure we let the good people know where they can find us? So Seth, where can people connect with us?
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as you can email us at moviesatgrandmashouse@gmail.com. We are on Patreon to become a member. We have a newsletter, so sign up and get registered for a contest. We are brought to you by movieposters.com. Type in Grandma's House 15 at checkout for 15% off.
Very nice. So there you go, folks. Be sure to check us out. And we have our monthly grand prize. You get to pick one poster kind of like what you're seeing behind me here. Seth is not at home. He's actually on the road. So I'm sure you're missing your posters right now too, aren't you?
A little bit.
But yes, we have our giveaway. We can't thank Movie Posters enough for that. Go check them out. Just go browse their posters. They've got so much poster selection, but we're going to have a grand prize. If you sign up for the newsletter, like Seth brought out, you can get up to $25. You get to pick the poster. So all good stuff. And we're going to leave it as a tease, but we also are going to have a Funko Pop like we did before. So stay tuned for all that. Well, that does it for our time at Grandma's, but don't worry. We will be back soon. But in the meantime, remember to be kind and rewind. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.